Back on day 3 of 4 for the Run for Roses from Louisville, Kentucky, back inside the Exposition Center, and we got a great show for you planned here tonight. We'll get into it and what to expect in just a little bit. But first, joined alongside the head coach at NC State, 12-time Coach of the Year, and the runner-up for the AP National Coach of the Year last year, Wes Moore. Great to see you.
Thanks, man. Great to be here.
Yeah, thanks so much. How's everything going? All right?
Going great. Fun to be out. You know, during the season, high school season, college season, you go watch a kid play, and you're thinking about practice the next day and the game you have coming up and all the preparation. This time of year, you just sit back, relax, let those travel team coaches do all the sweating. Don't worry about officials.
Yep.
So it's a good time of year.
Hey, how great is this to see so many players all under one roof, not only the ones that you're targeting, but other players as well. I mean, it just makes it so much easier.
Oh, it's awesome. You know, I can remember the days where you're having to drive between high schools and you're afraid you're going to run over somebody or something. And here, you know, I think over 70 courts here under one roof really makes it great for college coaches and allows us to cover a lot more ground, see a lot of players, more than we'd be able to otherwise. And you know, like you said, you may, because of that, you may run across some players you didn't even know about by being under this roof.
Sweet 16 the last couple of years, 25 of 30 seasons in the postseason, only one losing season out of your 30 years. It's remarkable what you've done. How about the status of the program, where you are, and the steps that you try to take to get to that next level each and every year, because you're right there.
Well, it is. It's exciting that we've been able to climb a little bit every year. You know, this year we finished 9th in the country, and we had 4 season-ending knee injuries last year. So we'll get 3 of those kids back. One of them was a senior, but we'll get 3 of them back. We have our highest-rated recruiting class. I think ESPN ranked it 6th in the country. So we got a lot of momentum going right now, and it's a fun time to be at NC State.
What would you say overall with women's basketball and how it's changed, and maybe a little bit more parity now, I guess, and players distributing? Yeah, it's getting better. What's your feeling on all that?
Yeah, I think it's good for the game, and obviously I'm excited about it. But you're right. Before, you could kind of pick, who was going to be in the Final Four, who was going to probably win it, and now that's pretty hard to do. And it is exciting, I think, because part of it's because of events like this. There's a lot more talent now. Kids are playing, and because of that, there's more talent to spread around. And so, whereas used to four or five schools got all the talent, now there's enough that you can make an argument for top 20 teams or so that have a chance to be in the Final Four.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, that's what this is all about. This Run for Roses, to really showcase women's basketball and to see how many great players there really are all across the country that are deserving to play in college sports, whether it's Division I, II, III, junior college, NAIA. Everybody's here.
Yeah, well, you're right, and I've coached about all of them. Started out in D3, was an assistant at NC State for Coach Kay Yao, legendary Kay Yao. Then I went to Division II as a head coach, and then mid-major at Chattanooga, and now at NC State. So it is exciting to see, now you're expecting almost sometimes on a breakaway to see a dunk.
Right.
You see kids that are just able to do things that you never thought of, 5 years ago even. So it's fun. And I think events like this have helped grow the game and have made it more of a national sport that everyone's trying to be involved with.
Well, we're excited to be here, and really appreciate your time and talking to you. And then you got to go, so all the best. Have a great summer, okay?
Gotta go find some more.
Yes,
Thanks,
you do.
man.
All right, all the best this
Appreciate
year. You got it. Wes Moore, head coach for NC State, joining us here in Louisville in the Run for Roses Classic. And we got a great show planned for you here tonight. We're going to give you the highlights of all the games like we've done each and every day. We've got a great feature on the number 2 player in the nation, Angel Reese. We'll talk to you about her, and she'll tell you her story and the 5 schools that she's got her commitments down to. But first, an absolutely unbelievable story here and a feature on Sofia Coates. Tore her ACL twice, the perseverance and the comeback by this young lady. Here she is.
So my first injury was my AAU season, my freshman year. So I was defending somebody on fast break, and I jumped to try to block them, and then when I landed, my knee just got all torn up, and it hurt so bad. When I found out that it was like a torn ACL and I had to rehab for like 11 months to get back and play again, I was like really devastating. My mindset was basically like, I can't let myself fall into like that hole where you're just sad and depressed and, you know, like devastated basically. And I just had to stay positive, and you know, I mean, there's no way around it. I have to rehab and get back. It's something you got to do. So I just had to stay positive. I had such a like solid support, like foundation-wise, that it would just made my journey through this so much easier. So, well, the second time I knew that it was torn. I didn't want to like admit it to myself, I guess, because it was just it was hard to accept. I love basketball so much, and I didn't think that I would be able to give up that part of my life. I learned a lot. I spent 2 seasons of my high school career on the bench, and I went to every practice, and I went to every game, and I cheered on my teammates, and I was able to actually learn more about the game of basketball. It helped me get to where I am, I think, and I wouldn't have been able to be where I am today without like the journey, basically.
It's a great experience. It's like a happy, sad kind of moment because it's my last year at AAU, and I love EYBL. It's playing against a great competition, playing against so many different teams. It's really hard to get a win at EYBL. So to get a win like that and go into the platinum bracket, then it's really helps. Family plays basketball. My mom plays basketball. My brother's 6'9", he's 15. So we all play basketball. Our whole family's basketball. So I kind of had no choice. I started out as a point guard, so that's why I have dribbling skills of a point guard. Coach Brian and Coach Ron, they really tell me or help me with a lot of stuff. It's kind of hard with a lot of pressure on me being number 2 player. It's kind of hard sometimes because it's like everybody wants you to have a perfect game, and I always can't have a perfect game, so it's really hard sometimes. But they always are on my back about it, pick me up, positive things. Even if I don't score the most points, I have a lot of assists or rebounds, just doing the little things.
She's a pretty feisty young lady, highly competitive. She's fun to coach. Not easy to coach at times, but I think she has a future in coaching. She disagrees with me, but you can always count on her to come through, make plays, and be there for her team. She's a self-proclaimed Dr. Dime, she likes to call herself, so she's actually interested in getting more assists and actually scoring the ball. But her rebounding ability, her ability to play all 5 positions, and also to be able to defend all 5 positions. She knows every position on the floor. She knows where people are supposed to be, and that's why you can always count on her to come through.
My first offer was in the 8th grade from Georgetown. It was kind of hard in the beginning because some schools I knew I wasn't going to go to, so I kind of had to tell them no. It's kind of hard telling a school no, plus especially because I'm young and I didn't really know what I wanted. So my mom really helped me through the process, but now I'm down to my 5 and it's really much easier. In no specific order, I come from home, so I say Maryland first, Tennessee, South Carolina, USC, and Syracuse. So all of them have the kinesiology major in the business, so I want to start my own physical therapy facility, and I don't really want to work for anyone because I'm kind of like, most of them call me bossy, so I want to work for myself. But the business and kinesiology, that was a really big thing I was looking at in schools, and all 5 of those have that. Well, I'll take 5 officials in September, and then I'll decide from there.
All right, how about this? A special guest. We're here with Young Buck. The rapper here is at the Run for Roses Classic as his stepdaughter, Corey Allen's playing here. You're watching her, right?
Yeah, I got to, man. Just try to come out and support as much as possible. She's doing great. She plays for Tennessee Flight, AAU team based out of Tennessee. She's doing really well. And just to get her this exposure and have her playing on this platform is just a great opportunity. I wouldn't miss it for nothing.
That's great. How awesome is this tournament, right? I mean, this is the largest in the world. Pretty amazing.
You got pretty much every college in the world, and anyone that wouldn't or not here should get here ASAP. Right. But just seeing the talent and watching these kids be able to, meet up with other children from all over the world and show their talent is awesome.
It is. It really is. How about for you right now? I mean, your career has spanned a good 25 years, man.
Yeah, I got a long time.
Yeah. How has it been? What was it like when you first started? I'm thinking, probably the early 90s
Yes.
right now.
Yeah.
Go back to that time. Tell me about that.
Man, it's always been a grind. I've always been one of those guys that put God first and, just believe in myself, believing in the craft. The same thing I try to instill in the children is, whatever your craft is, whatever you believe in, go for it, and that's exactly what brings me out here with my stepdaughter, Corey. She loves the game of basketball and just loves the challenge. And I tell her it's nothing that you cannot make possible. As long as you believe it, you can achieve it.
What are some of the other conversations that you have with her? Do you give her advice about there on the court? Does she talk to you about what you do? Or what are the interactions you've had?
I try to just tell her to stay focused, and let the game come to her. She's at an age where she takes it so serious, and sometimes I try to, balance it out, and just make sure that she, of course, in school, stay on top of her grades and just encourage her to accept the game, let the game come to her, and don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Well, how different is it today, right? I mean, you know this when you were growing up. I'm around the same time as you in terms of our age, and boy, you get to a spot where there wasn't as much going on. Now everything's going on. You're on your phone. You can't get away from it. It's immediate. Your whole industry, how that's changed, and CDs, and now it's just downloading your songs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how did you adapt to all that?
I mean, I was one of those guys where I kind of was given a heads up. Okay. So I was able to start shifting, as far as music goes, my fan base, and kind of preparing them for what we're in front of today. With all the social media, Instagrams, Facebooks, Twitter. But for sports, I think it's a beautiful platform for these children to be able to be exposed with a click of a button.
Right.
And just to be able to network and share their experiences with so many different, kids and coaches over the world. I think social media is very much needed if you treat it right.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, you can actually reach more people. Yes. You can affect more people if you do it the right way.
Yes, if you do it the right way.
Yeah, that's a good point. How about give us a little insight on what it takes to put together a song and the lyrics and how you kind of come up with it, and then the intricacies of in a recording studio where, it's hard work. I don't think people understand that, right?
I mean, honestly, I was taught that pretty much you're nothing without the product. So I kind of invested my time in perfecting my craft and then led over into the business side of things because, in this business of music, you're only good as your last record.
Yeah.
So I try to keep reinventing myself, and just staying relevant. No different than these basketball players.
Right.
If you win from one dunk, the slam dunk contest that year, you got to come back the next year and do something different.
Yeah.
So just reinventing yourself is the key. And like I always like to tell people, your relationship with higher power, mine is Jesus Christ, is going to determine exactly where you go with it.
Yeah, you got to have faith.
You got to have faith.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And you talk about any field, whether it's music, basketball, even in broadcasting, right there.
You go.
You always got to be on top and always trying to improve, But I think take care of yourself, If you just do what you need to do,
that's right. Everything will fall in place. Yeah, and I just want to take the time also and thank all of these colleges. It's a great thing to have these kids at such young ages being exposed to the platforms of all of these colleges around the world, and for the colleges to get a chance to be able to come and recruit some of these players that we'll see playing for them in the years to come. So shout out to all the colleges and thank y'all for having me here.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, there's over 1,000 college coaches here. I mean,
too many, right?
Right, too many, exactly. Don't pressure though, when you see them all watching you. But hey, it's so great to talk to you. Thanks for coming on, man.
I really appreciate it.
Really appreciate you. Thank you.
Sir.
Young Buck with us here. The Run for Roses Classic in Louisville, Kentucky. 2020 players with the Florida Comets in white against the East Coast Prep team in black and orange, and another close matchup in this game. We've had a bunch of them in this tournament coming down to 1 point. And that was Emily Violante, who had 9 points for East Coast Prep on that drive to the basket. But it was a great job here by the Florida Comets. Josani Canales-Esquian, number 15, had 14 points in the game. Liara Keaton had 7 points, number 14. And the key from her is that she hit the game-tying three with time expiring to send it to overtime for the Florida Comets. And here it is. And then when they got into OT, Espian with 2 of her 14 for the win. And they pulled it off. 43-42 the final in favor of the Florida Comets over East Coast Prep as they dribbled out the clock to win this matchup. Action now from the 2021 class. That's the Arkansas Swish. They're with Bethany Richardson, who had 9 points, as well as Aubrey Isabel, also with 9. But the Hoop Stars in white were able to pull away in this ball game. Elena Meyer, 18 points a game high, number 14 for the Hoop Stars. And they had no trouble leading by double digits at the half and going on to win it by the final of 62-46 over the Arkansas Swish. Keith Van Horn, NBA veteran, he's coaching the CL Premier team that's in white, going up against Team Taurasi in black. And another matchup that came down to a 1-point ball game. Just outstanding play by both teams. Inside, nice basket there, pulled up by Kim Villalobos, and then Lauren Betts on the other side for CO Premier. Rhea Marshall, number 5, had a great game, and including the final basket at the end. She got her shot blocked, and then was able to get it back and put it up and in as Team Taurasi right here able to win this ball game 54-53, the final over CO Premier. Pro Skills in the white and red taking on Boo Williams in the black and yellow 17U game here. Pro Skills has got number 21 Baylor commit Hannah Gusters, but it just wasn't enough for them as Boo Williams poured it on after being tied 54 all with 7 minutes to go. They've got so many stars on their team. Number 23 Diamond Johnson, 6th rated player overall. Number 3 rated point guard Isaiah James, a 20th ranked player overall, 7th rated guard. Number 12 Kayla Ivey is a Boston College commit. And then number 11 Jessica Timmons, an all-state guard in her class, 18th rated guard in the 2021 class. Pro Skills tried the rally, but Boo Williams too much with an 88-67 victory in this one. And in this game, this is Boo Williams' 16U team in yellow and blue, and all Ohio in the gray and red. And we've been talking about 1-point games all throughout this tournament, right? Well, we had another one here. Teams traded buckets for bucket with all Ohio tying the game at 45 all with 35 seconds to go. Just ultimately rebounding, helping Boo Williams get some second chance points and ultimately win this game. Another highly contested contest here for the Run for Roses Classic in Louisville, Kentucky. Final score in this one, Boo Williams and the yellow and blue win it 48-47 over all Ohio in this contest. And that's a wrap on day 3 here at the Run for Roses Classic, and we can't wait for the final day on Monday, day 4. We close this thing out. We'll be crowning some champions. We'll talk with Jada Williams, who's got over 158,000 Instagram followers, plus more interviews of the top players and coaches as we have our final day coming up in the Run for Roses 2019 on Monday. Looking forward to bringing it to you here on Roses TV.